Hello boys and girls, I know I promised you that the next video will be on the 5th of June, but the more I think about it, the more I realize that the start of this very contentious subject may actually cause some type of, let's call it a riot or a furor or whatever you want to call it, as a reaction from people who object to what the text or the script is all about. And so much so that in fact I have actually had to text in a public disclaimer that the point of view put forward here is not mine, but a viewer with whom I've been in contact for the last 2 or 3 months. And in fact, we may be opening a Pandora's box here, because the name of this channel is Kibbutz from the Inside. There is another channel in Hebrew called Masha Kibbutznikim Yodim, which it means things that only kibbutz members know about. Well, it's good that they know about it. It's good that it's in Hebrew. But my channel is not about what kibbutz members know about from the inside, but we are talking about opening up secrets, or even, if you want to call it, a conspiracy of silence. Because my point of view in this channel is one of chasifa in Hebrew, which we call openness. What's the word? I can't remember the translation in English. My head is speaking to me in Hebrew. It is called transparency. Okay, so what we are talking about, sorry, I had something wrong with the tape recorder here. I want to really open up and go very, very deeply behind the scenes into what life is really like on the inside of the kibbutz. You see, here, once upon a time, the kibbutzim were the flagships of Israel. We were the moral and ethical standard by which the rest of Israel could be compared, because we had a very strong work ethic. We settled the borders, we defended the country and everything else. And we had a leading role in the development of the country. Nowadays, we don't have that leading role. But even so, I still want to go into what are really the deep issues of living in a kibbutz. The next episode coming up is called Change Hurts. And because this change was brought about, and I call the change the transformation, I do not call it privatization, because privatization is only one part of it. Before or even during privatization, there was another issue that overlaps with that, which is the establishment of differential salaries from the equal budget that people once had to a salary determined by your place of work, either inside the kibbutz or outside the kibbutz. So that in itself was very contentious. But when it comes to the whole business of privatization, in other words, taking communal property, whether it is the industry, the agriculture, the assets of the kibbutz, or your own house where you live, and until the change where you didn't pay any mortgage and you didn't pay any rent, when it comes to the privatization and things like actual, real, legal home ownership, then in fact we're talking about people who benefit from this, but there are others who didn't benefit from it. And as I go through the next episode, I have the script by a person whose father established or was an early pioneer of his kibbutz, and he himself received reparations money as restitution from the German government following the agreement between Ben Gurion and Konrad Adenauer in the early 50s. And this parent of the guy who wrote to me, he gave all of his money to the kibbutz. This is what the guy tells me. I haven't the resources to check it out, but in fact I have to take him at face value. Later on in 1986 his father died, and like in town, well, I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to really open it up to the real details now, but all I can say is that the guy who wrote to me and whose script will be read out has accused his kibbutz, I presume where he was born, of stealing his money. Maybe it's not stealing, let's call it not distributing to him his share of the house, the monetization of the house where his father lived. So I'm just giving you this little tidbit of what's about to come. And I really believe, as I said, it may open a Pandora's box and lead to some very, very serious discussion, maybe even embarrassment, maybe even an accusation, I don't know. But I'm going to present it as it is, because as I said, I believe in transparency, because a democracy is all about transparency. It's not a dictatorship. It's not a monarchical system where one guy decides at the top of the pyramid. It's a matter where everybody who lives in the kibbutz, as Daniel Ben Sefer said, is a member of parliament, and we all have equal rights and equal votes, as well as equal obligations. So I'm just going to leave it at that now. This is a very short opening for the next episode, which will be entitled Change Hurts. And Hurley said the title of the episode that comes after that, which will be entitled A Travesty of Justice in Kibbutzim. Let's take it one step at a time, and in the meantime, please subscribe, please press on like, please share all of my videos with your friends, and I'll see you again in a few days' time for the next episode. Bye for now, shalom and lehitraot.